What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about thinking like a customer for your business. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you understand that I say this a lot in anything that has to do with marketing or making the sale. I always talk about think like a customer, because as business owners and brand owners, we always forget to do this because we're thinking like a business owner and a brand owner. We all fall into this. I fell into this a lot, and the way that I always shake it and kind of get back to my roots of thinking like a customer is taking a look at what I'm doing and understanding what I'm doing wrong. A lot of the time we come up with a really dope design concept, we print it onto a t-shirt, and we want to get it out to the world. But what we mess up on is our delivery to offering it to the world. This all comes down to your planning, your marketing, your advertising, and your overall brand awareness. People think if they just post that t-shirt a million times on their Instagram, somebody's eventually gonna see. Or they think if they keep offering a discount for that same exact t-shirt, eventually somebody's gonna buy it. Or they think if I get this t-shirt to a celebrity, the celebrity puts it on their Instagram, I'm gonna get a million orders in. Now, there is some truth to a lot of these different strategies, but what we all have to remember is the end user, like the customer, hates being sold shit. You hate it, I hate it, everybody hates being sold something. The crazy sales pitch, the forcible sale, the pressure behind the sale, all of that stuff are things that we try to avoid in our daily life. As a customer, we've all seen the dudes in the middle of the mall cleaning shoes, yelling at everybody. They're sitting down and they're yelling from across the mall like, yo, big man with the dirty Air Forces, let me hook you up. Or, hey, you, right there in the Jordan 11s, let me show you what I can do on those. Hey, those Vans look busted, come over here, let me hook you up. What we do as the consumer is try to avoid those guys. We try to ignore those dudes. It's funny what they're saying, but it's also making the person run away from them. You know what I mean? The customer is now pretending they don't hear that person, ignoring that person, walking around their kiosk. How do I know this? I used to sell T-Mobile sidekicks in the middle of the mall years ago when the very first sidekick came out. Some of you guys wasn't even born, but if you remember when the very first T-Mobile sidekick came out with the black and white screen, not even the color screen, I was in the middle of the mall slanging these things. T-Mobile was a fairly new company, and we used to get paid on commission. So if you know anything about commission, you get paid on how many phones you sell, how many activations you open. This was a big boom early on because there was a lot of cell phone companies out there. Blackberries were a thing, Nextels were a thing, three-way and two-way pagers was a thing. So what you had to do was get somebody to open up a new activation with you in the middle of the mall. Nobody's walking in the mall thinking about, I'm gonna go buy a new cell phone today. So like I said, early 2000s is an easy way to make dumb easy money at the time. And if you're old enough to remember, walking in the middle of the mall, hearing all these guys from every cell phone company yelling at you like, hey, what phone you got? Who's your provider? What cell phone you got? Let me get you some free anytime minutes. This is back when you had set number of minutes, like nights and weekends was a big deal. If you remember this, then you understand what I'm talking about. This is before unlimited everything. So imagine a kiosk in the middle of the mall. We're all standing inside the kiosk. It was round, and there's 6 to 8 salesmen within this little round ring booth. So let's say 3 on each side, 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, or 3 or 4 on either side, right? All yelling the same thing. Who's your cell phone provider? What cell phone do you got? Let me get you out of your bad contract. How many drop calls do you have a day? Why don't you have text messaging yet? All of these things are what guys are yelling at people walking by the mall. You got to remember, they're not in the mall to buy a new cell phone. So there's no real interest there, right? So you would see people from far away walking up, pulling out their cell phone and pretending to have a conversation just to ignore everybody yelling at them, or making hard eye contact with the person they're walking with just so they could pretend to ignore the salesman yelling at them about their cell phone. These are little tactics that the consumers started to build up because they hated being sold shit, right? It's the same thing like you're looking for a new car, you step foot onto that car lot and all of those salesmen come rushing up to you. You build up that tough skin to get up on the car lot and you're already thinking of a plan. This is my set number, this is what I want to pay monthly, this is the car I'm looking for. I'm not going to let these guys sell me anything else, right? Everybody does it. Everybody goes into that same mode before they even leave the house and step foot onto the car lot. They're formulating a plan, and that plan is just a defense mechanism mechanism. That's what every consumer does because they hate being sold shit, right? So as the cell phone salesman, T-Mobile, I'm selling sidekicks when all of my coworkers are hanging out the booth yelling at people, yo, come here, let me show you this, let me get you out of that bad contract, whatever they're doing to get them to come to the booth. Because I was one of those same dudes. I was yelling and hawking at people, and I was only doing maybe like 2 activations a day, and that was kind of the average. Everybody was kind of doing 2 activations a day. I stood back and I was like, man, how can I actually get people to come and talk to me before I even sell them on this shit? Bingo, let me do something that all these guys ain't doing. So instead of yelling at people, I just started talking to people about random shit. Hey, is it still raining outside? I was in the Lakewood Mall. If you're in the Long Beach area, Cerritos area, you know about the Lakewood Mall. This is where I was at, middle of the kiosk. And I just started asking random shit to people. See somebody walking by, I would keep the sidekick in my hand and not even show them the phone yet. But as they're walking by, there was a foot action on one end, and then there was a World Foot Locker on the other end, if you remember that. So if they're walking towards the foot action, be like, yo, you going to the foot action right now? I heard they just released some Jordans. And I'm just making shit up. They didn't even release no Jordan. But that's just to get them to look at me and be like, oh shit. So I see them walk by, boom, yo, you gonna go over there? I just heard they released those Jordans. And as they're coming back, walking towards the Foot Locker or whatever it is, when I see them walking back, like, damn, you didn't get the Jordans? I heard they released the Bread 1s, heard they released the White Cement 4s, or whatever it is, right? Now I got their attention because they just went to foot action. Now they're coming back and they're like, man, I didn't see that shit on the wall. Now I opened up the dialogue. Now I got that person talk to me. It's not because I'm selling them a cell phone, it's just asking them random ass questions. So now bingo, it's opened up. I flick open the sidekick right in front of them, like man, what the hell is that? Oh shit, this is the new T-Mobile sidekick, full keyboard. You on instant messenger? Are you on AIM? You could set up your AIM account right here. Imagine you walking through the mall and you could just AIM with all your homies and let them know that the Jordans are not there at foot action. Oh shit, I never even seen that phone. Blah blah blah. Easy call. You know what I mean? It's because now I started to think like an actual customer. If it was a lady walking by and she has a Forever 21 bag in her hand, and I'm like, yo, are they still having that big sale? And she's like, well, what sale you talking about? Man, early this morning there was a line out the door. I thought it was for a sale. Now I have that conversation, flick open the sidekick, right? Flip it up, comes out. What the hell is that? Oh shit, this is a new sidekick. Are you on instant messenger? Do you text with your friends? Now I'm actually showing them the product without having to sell them the product, right? The one thing that got them to come and talk to me was just general conversation. Hey, is it still raining outside? Are they having a sale over there? Did you get those new Jordans? This is back when white on white Air Force Ones were selling out everywhere, so everybody's looking for them. It's like, hey, I heard World Foot Locker got white on white Air Forces. Heard they got mid-top forces over there. Talking to them and not selling them is how I made the sales. And I went from doing 2 activations to like 8 to 9 activations a day, switching up my sales pitch. So if I was the dude in the middle of the mall cleaning sneakers, instead of yelling at people like, yo, let me clean your shoes, blah, 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 then I just open up random ass conversations with people. Yo, what'd you buy from Foot Locker? You here for the Concord 11s? Heard they just dropped the Aqua 8s, blah, blah. You know, just making small conversation with people. So that way they don't feel like they're getting sold. And as they get closer, you opened up that dialogue with the people. And now you could be like, oh shit, have you seen this before, man? This will protect your sneakers. This will clean the shit up real quick. You probably don't even have to do the demo on them, but you already have them talking to you. Instead of having people walk past you and pretend to ignore you or do anything they can to get around you, now you got people actually coming up to talk to you, and it's just about opening up some regular ass conversation. Not even talking about sneaker cleaner. You could be talking about something totally different. It could be like a dude holding a skateboard and you talk about some skate shit with him, and now that dude's not even thinking about cleaning his sneakers, but now he's standing there talking to you about skateboarding, and you'd be like, oh shit, how long have you had those shoes right there, man? If you had this shit, it'll make them look brand new every time. Then you hit them with the sales pitch after you get them to stop and talk to you. So this is the way I do my marketing now, is the same exact way. Like I said, I've been doing this shit for years. If it works in the real world, in the middle of the mall, why wouldn't it work on social media? So now, open up random ass conversation with somebody, a potential customer. Hey, where'd you get that pizza from? How was the concert? I was there too. Did you see the new movie? Whatever they're posting about and you comment on, now they're gonna click through to your social media page to be like, hey, who the hell is this? Now you're making your clothing available to an end user. So when I talk about think like a customer, I'm mainly saying don't sell the customer on shit, because the customer is now numb to being sold shit that they figure out different defense mechanisms within their own brain, because we all do it, to avoid being sold something. So if somebody's putting up the wall, all you're doing is creating a ladder to jump over that wall, hit them from the backside. That's all it is, man. Or instead of going over the wall, maybe you're digging a hole and getting up under the wall. But they're putting up the wall. You have to figure out how to get around it. Easiest way to do it is to think like them. All you're doing is thinking like a customer. What would you react to as a customer if somebody was trying to sell you something? Hopefully this helps somebody out. Mentally, you have to think about this kind of stuff as you're selling stuff, because once again, you're selling a product. You have a customer base that you're selling to. You need good positive reactions from the customer. You could have a dope ass product, but if you're just shoving that dope ass product down somebody's throat, they put that defense wall up quick. Like, I don't want to be sold on that shit. Not knowing that they really like the product, but they're just going to put the shit up and be like, I don't want to be sold. I don't want to get ripped off. I don't want to get taken advantage of. That's just what people think about every single time. So all I do is I think like a customer. I put myself in the customer's shoes first. What would I react to if somebody was selling me something? Would I react more to somebody just making some regular ass conversation with me, or would I react to somebody trying to sell me some shit right out the gate? Think about it when you walk into a store. If somebody doesn't greet you in that store, you already feel like, man, I don't want to buy shit from here because they didn't even greet me. They didn't even acknowledge that I'm in there. Why is that such a weird thing to figure out where you want to spend your money, right? Because you want to spend money with somebody that's going to be personable with you. Somebody says, hey, good morning. If you need some help, let me know. My name's blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be over here if you need some help. You've been acknowledged, and now you're like, all right, cool, blah, blah, blah. Seemed pretty nice. Let me look around the store and see if I buy something. But if somebody came up to you right when you stepped in the store and was like, what you looking for today? You need some help? Look at these things right here. This is the new shit that we just got in. This is this. And somebody just selling you, you're gonna be like, oh man, this dude's pushy as fuck. And they start popping up around racks wherever you're looking at, like, oh shit, you looking for that? Let me get a size for you. Or, you know, these right here are only $60, and this right, then you feel pressured to buy something and you're like, nah, I don't even want to fuck with that. Or it could be the complete opposite. You walk into the store and I'm behind the register just on my phone, not even paying attention to you, not even acknowledging you. You can be like, oh, fuck that. So if you think like a customer, what you react to, if you react better, and you're more likely to buy something from somebody when somebody greets you and isn't over pushy trying to sell you something. Do the same for your own business. That's all I'm saying. Take a step back from being the business owner and think like a customer, think like your customer. It'll help your business out tremendously. Because that's all I do. The only information I can share with you guys is the shit that works for me. And what mainly works for me is understanding what my customers react to. All right? Hopefully this helps somebody out that was stuck in the same rut. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments or follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yep.